All right, I am back for another recipe today. Today I decided to make some homemade onion rings. So if you've never made homemade onion rings before, stay tuned. I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so before we get started, I'm just going to run down the ingredients that I have here, is what you guys are going to need to make this. I got a couple of big onions. Make sure your onions are pretty big when you buy them, because you need nice big rings, right? So that makes sense. So two big onions. You can use an onion of your choice. You can use a sweet onion, Spanish onion, anything like that. You can use a white onion. Any onions that you guys want to use, feel free to use that. Okay, so on with the ingredients. Here I got 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Here I've got a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. Here I have a 1/4 cup of cornmeal. I have 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I have 1 teaspoon of creole seasoning. We go on over here. I have just regular table salt here, black pepper. I have 1 beer, because they're going to be beer battered. A beer of your choice. This is just what I had on hand. So don't make fun of my Corona Premium. It's not for the alcohol content. It's more or less just for a little bit of flavor. And I have some panko breadcrumbs. I have 2 cups of panko breadcrumbs. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear out some of this here first. And I'm just going to set some stuff aside that I don't need right now. And what we're going to do is we are going to mix these ingredients here, and we're going to make the batter first. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in a bowl, and we're going to add the 1 cup of all-purpose flour. That goes in. Okay, I'm going to also add the 1/4 cup of cornstarch. Okay, I'm going to add the 1/4 cup of cornmeal. Make sure that this is fine. You don't want it really coarse. This is going to add awesome crunch to your onion ring. So we're going to put the cornmeal in. We're going to put in the teaspoon of baking powder. That goes in. We're going to throw in the teaspoon of creole seasoning. You got to flavor this somehow, okay? That's why I put the creole seasoning in it. And then we're just going to add, because the creole seasoning is a little salty, so we're not going to put much. We're just going to put a pinch of salt, and we're just going to put a little bit of black pepper, not much, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this, real simple, right? We're just going to whisk this together until it's combined. Okay, so that's pretty much well combined. You guys may be making fun of my blue bowls that I have. I've had these things forever, and I guess I just refuse to give them up. Okay, so this is the mixture for your batter. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pop open the beer. Okay, and we're going to whisk. We're going to use somewhere around, I don't know, 10 to 12 ounces of beer. So maybe a half a beer, 3/4 of a beer. Now, if you don't want to use beer, you don't want these beer battered, that's fine. You can use, let's see, you can use like a Perrier, like any kind of like club soda. Would probably be really good. See how it's thick, so you got to keep adding, beer. And the reason why we do this is because we want the bubbles, right? That's what we want here. We want the bubbles. Make them nice and airy, nice and light. Okay, and you're just going to keep mixing this and mixing it until you get a consistency of kind of like a pancake batter. Maybe a little bit looser than a pancake batter. And if you don't finish the beer in here, what do you do with that? You drink that, right? Okay. I think people are under the impression that when I make these and I post any recipe on that particular day that I actually make the recipe that day. I do not. To do a YouTube channel, you have to be prepared. So what I do is I'll take like a whole day, or sometimes if I'm on vacation, I got a few days off, I'll turn around and I'll make like 4 or 5 recipes for the week. So I have some recipes banked, basically. So that's what I do. So you can see the consistency now of this, right? It's kind of maybe a little, this is probably like a pancake batter. I'm just going to add just a little bit more beer. A little bit more, just like that. Okay. Make sure you get it all incorporated really good. I would say that's probably pretty good right there. Okay, so we're going to set this batter aside, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring in these panko breadcrumbs, and this is going to give it some really awesome crunch, okay? But the problem sometimes I think is that you get, you know, panko breadcrumbs are extremely coarse, right? Now, if you look in this area right here, I kind of already knocked these down a little bit, which basically means I broke down the coarseness of the breadcrumbs. So if you have a food processor, which I do, but I'm doing it like this to show people that if they don't have a food processor, how they can do it. So take your breadcrumbs, stick them in a bag. You know exactly where I'm going with this, I'm sure. Take the air out of it. Just kind of lay them out like this in the bag. You are going to need a rolling pin for this, and you're just going to go back and forth, and you're just going to crack the consistency, the thickness of the breadcrumb, basically. You'll see. So it sticks better to the onion ring. So here we go. Okay, so I think that's broken down enough. So we're just going to grab our bowl. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to put this in a different bowl. All the prepping that you need when you make these little tutorials here. Okay, so we're going to take the 2 cups of breadcrumbs, and we're just going to empty them out here. And you hold on to this bag because you may need to do that one more time. And you could see a lot of these broke down a little bit finer than what they were. Okay, so next we're going to cut the onion up, and just give me a second. Let me clean up a little bit of the mess here, drink the rest of this beer, and probably shouldn't do that because it's 11:20 in the morning. But anyways, I'll drink the rest of that beer, and we'll be back and show you how to cut up some onions. All right, so on to the next step. We are going to cut up these onions. We'll show you how to do this, and yeah, that's gone. That was actually pretty good this morning. Okay, so on with the onions. Excuse me. Let me grab a knife. Okay. So now we're going to show you how I do it. Now you can do this any way you want to. Depends on how thick you want your onion rings. I try to do them maybe a finger. Okay, so if you put your finger on the onion ring, you kind of want a big onion ring, right? You want to bite into something. But first, before we do that, we're just going to take off a little bit of the onion on the end, just like that. Okay, we're not going to use that. Now we're going to start getting into the part of the onion where we're going to use. So we're going to come over about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch maybe. It all depends on how you like it. Listen, this is your recipe. I'm just showing you how to do it. Okay, so this is where I'm at right now. So we're just gonna, just like that. Nice big slices. And you may only get like 3 slices now out of an onion. So, but if you want good onion rings, do it like this. And be careful when you get to the end here, okay, of this onion, because they roll, you know, right? You don't want that to roll and it hurts your finger, cut your finger, or whatever the case may be. Okay, so that's one onion cut up. We're gonna kind of discard those. I'll use those for something else, either a soup or chop them up, put them in an omelet, whatever. You don't have to throw those away. All right, so the same thing, we're just gonna take off the end. Okay, just like that. And we're gonna start cutting our onion rings. Okay, just like this, right? And we'll try to get one more out of it, right? Okay, so we did. All right, so again, we're gonna discard this. And this is what your onion rings, look at that, huh? They awesome or what? Now, what you gotta do is inside the onion, sometimes they have a little membrane, okay? I know people might not like that word, but you'll feel it. It's kind of slippery. No other way of saying it. I'm not seeing that this onion ring actually has it, so I can't show you. These little ones, I just kind of put these aside. Yeah, I want like a little tower thing going on, so that's how I do it. And then we'll just poke all these out. Okay, so I'm going to finish up with these here. You get the idea of what we're doing here, and I'll be back as soon as I have these all separated, and we'll show you how to batter them, bread them, and then throw them in an oil bath and get these rolling. So as you see, I have all my onion rings cut up, and now we're ready to batter these. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these and I'm just going to move them aside. I'm just going to stick them right over here, and we're going to bring in the batter. Actually, you know what? I'll put the batter on this side, and we'll put the breadcrumbs on this side. So this is very simple, right? Now you may not use all your onions. You may see some that are a little thin on the edge. You know, you don't have to use those. So pick out, you know, the best ones that have a nice big chunk of onion. Or just take a couple of these. We're just going to throw these in here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to make sure that all the onion is coated. And you can see how it runs off like that. But you want to make sure it's all coated. You think they're coated and they're not. So, you know, be careful on this step. Make sure that the whole ring is completely covered, okay? So I'm going to bring in another pan. I'm going to stick it over here. I know this is probably going to be a little hard to see, but this is, there we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take the onion ring. We're going to make sure that it's completely coated, and we're going to dump it. Very simple. This is very, very easy. And we're just going to dump it in here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of toss it a little bit, just like that. Okay, we're trying to keep the only reason why I'm doing that is just trying to keep my hands a little clean for right now. I don't want to get them all gummed up. Okay, so make sure that the ring is coated. Very good. You got to play with it a little bit. You can go ahead and do that. Make sure it's coated all the way around. Now, if you're doing these and you're freezing these, now is the time to freeze these. So what you would do is you would take your ring and make sure you get off all the extra, and you would just lay it on a cookie sheet over here. Okay, so this is all we're going to do. We're just going to keep moving in this direction here. Okay, we're going to get a lot of the batter off, and in it goes. Okay, so, and then just flip it around just to get most of the wetness off of the onion ring. Make sure it's coated, and this is what you're going to do for all of them. Doesn't change, right? This is exactly what you're going to do for all of them. But like I was saying, like if you want to take them from this point forward, you can freeze them at this point. Put these in the freezer, get them nice and cold, put them in a Ziploc bag, and you have onion rings for whenever you want them. And that's pretty cool. You always have homemade onion rings instead of buying that, well, you know, that stuff at the store. So shake off your onion ring and stick them on a thing. Okay, so I'm going to do quite a few of these onion rings, and I'll be back with you in a little bit, and we'll fry them, and we'll show you the end result. Okay, hang in there. It's only a couple more minutes. Okay, so I got my oil at 365. Okay, so we're going to take out the probe, and we're going to get frying these. Just so you know what they look like after they're all, look at that, how beautiful are they, right? Okay, so here we go. We're going to just drop them in one at a time. Now, we're not going to overload our pot. So if you only need to do 2 or 3 of these at a time, do 2 or 3 at a time. You don't want to get out of control. Be careful also when you drop these in, okay? Don't want to get burned. Make sure there's no kids around, that type of thing. We're going to fry these just very quickly. They're not going to take long, so I'm going to let you see what the first round looks like, and then we're going to go from there, and then I'll finish these, and then I'll be back with you guys to show you what the end result is and to plate everything up. Like I said, these are going to go very quick, so you got to stand here, don't drop them and then walk away from it. You're going to mess them up, so make sure you actually sit here and babysit these. Alright, we're going to flip them over just like we did. We're going to let them cook just a short time, a couple seconds on the other side, and we're going to pull them. Simple as that. And then I'm going to put a paper towel here. Okay, so that's it. These are done. So this is what you're looking for. Okay, nice and golden brown. All right. Okay, just like that. Nice and brown, nice and golden brown. Okay, so these are done. I'm going to continue with these and fry up the rest of these, and then I'll be back with you to show you what they all look like when they're done, and we'll plate these up and have a little snack. Great for an appetizer, by the way. All right, so I am all ready to drop my last 3. I got 3 more left. We're going to throw these in there. We're actually going to keep you with me this time and fry these up, and we'll get plating. These look great. They taste fantastic. They're really crispy. You just make sure they don't stick together in the pot, right? These are really good. They also sell things that it's like almost looks like a skewer, almost like this. Not a skewer, but maybe something like this that has a hook that comes down like this that you can pinch and grab and turn. Awesome tool. You can get that just about any place. But I'm using these right now. That's what was handy, and they work perfectly fine. The other thing I want to show you too is once these start browning a little bit more, I'm going to show you how to flip these. If you're going to flip these like you're going to flip a donut, if you've ever made homemade donuts, maybe I'll do a video one day on that for you guys. But we'll show you how to flip these. Really easy. You just we'll show you in a second. Okay. So you flip them. I don't know how much of this you guys can see, but you flip them just like this. Okay, you just roll them over, just like this, and roll them over, and then just separate them. So because you want to cook both sides, right? You want to just roll it over, just like that, and that's it. That's how you want to do these. Okay, another couple seconds. These are going to be done. Look. All right, beautiful. Okay, these are done. All right. Okay, very good. I'm going to let those drain on a paper towel for a few seconds. I'm going to clean up a little bit of mess that I have here because you all know I hate a mess. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to put these on a plate, and we're going to close this video out. Okay, just a couple more minutes here, and we'll be all set to go. Okay, so I'm going to plate these up now, and look at these. These look fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And these are going to be so delicious. You guys get a chance, you make these. These are great for like Super Bowl. You know, you can serve these with a steak. They go good with. Definitely you can do these with a steak. You can do these with fish. You can do these any way you want to. So this here is how we make onion rings. Now I just want to let you hear how crispy these are. Oh God. They're just so good. You guys gotta make these. Nothing like a homemade onion ring. I'm gonna give it one more time here. Okay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you do make these, serve this with whatever. I'm talking with a mouthful here. These are truly awesome. So we'll wrap this video up for now. If you like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be great. Like it, share it, whatever you guys want to do. But I do urge you guys to make this. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, and everyone take care of yourselves.